years ago.
Welcome to Relationship Soup. I'm your host, Lisa Hughes. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? How's your week going? How was your weekend? Did y'all have a good weekend? Well, I hope your week is off to a great start. Mine is. I really cannot complain at all, So anyway, I'm so glad to finally be back. I know y'all roasted me, but you know what? Listen. Sometimes you just have to take a little hiatus, right? Now I'm back. So we're going to have a fantastic show tonight, okay? I got a familiar guest, so it might feel a little like deja vu a little bit. We're going to continue the conversation, and when I tell you it's going to get real, it's going to get real. So you might want to go ahead and grab your little beverage and get into it because we are about to get into it on tonight. All right, so if you want to join us in the studio, I did put the link out there. There's a link right there. So if you want to get in this studio, feel free to come in. We would love to have you. It's plenty of room. So, just click that link and follow the prompts. And I see y'all comments already. I'm definitely going to bring it on. But, first, I got to do my spiel, right? But what I do want to say, I want to thank all of y'all for pulling up on tonight because y'all could have been anywhere in the world. But you're here with me and I appreciate that, right? So, whether you are watching us live on Facebook, whether you're catching us on YouTube or you're seeing a replay, I see you, I love you, and I appreciate you. So, thank you so much for that. So let me go ahead and do my spiel before I bring these comments on and this guest and Lucky. He is dynamic. Lucky is a fantastic person. So I'm looking forward to continue this conversation tonight, dropping some seeds, getting some thoughts rolling. So I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, make sure that if you have not subscribed across all platforms. So y'all comments is cracking me up. I'll be trying to keep a straight face, right? Y'all know I'll be trying to keep that straight face. Listen, Relationship Soup, period. Y'all supposed to put the period. Now listen, I know that it'd be a lot of people watching on YouTube, right? Listen, subscribe so that I'll know that you watching. Let YouTube know that you want this content. You feel me? Let them know. All right. So it's on YouTube, it's Relationship Soup, period, right? Come and join the forum. My admin just approved new members. We got room. We still growing. We are thousands and thousands strong. Come and join the group at Relationship Soup Group. If you want to follow me, it's Relationship Soup LLC. Now listen, we still got them greeting cards. So listen, hit the site, right? And see what greeting card is going to suit your needs because we got plenty, you feel me, for every holiday and occasion. All right. All right, so let's see here. Is there anything else? Am I missing something? Am I missing something, y'all? I'm not. I'm cracking up at these comments. Let me bring these comments on. Leah Bennett, what's the science, beautiful cousin? How are you? You good? Man, hug that beautiful little baby for me. Hug that beautiful baby for me. What's up? What's going on, fam? How are you? Yes, welcome back. I know. Listen, sometimes like you just got to make it do what it do, right? You know, I am only one person, and so I got to give myself grace. And sometimes I got to be like, yo, let me go ahead, get this, you know, prioritize, whatever, you know. So, but I'm back though. That's all that matters. That's all I'm saying. I'm back. All right. So what's going on, fam? How are you, cousin? How's life treating? How's your Tuesday? How's your weekend? Right? Let me know. Holler at me. Can I interview you over dinner? See, Power Up. Are you a new subscriber? Because I don't remember seeing you in the past. You know, got me over here laughing. I'd rather come join a couch. All right, Power Up. Thank you so much for joining me. Anyway, so y'all, like I said, we are going to get into this show tonight. You know, like I'm so excited. When I tell you I am so excited about this show on tonight, I really am. Now, y'all know every beat has a backstory. Tonight, we are going to be reminded, among some other things, right? That the rhythm of life is not always smooth. And y'all know that. Sometimes life be life and sometimes things be happening, whether in our life, whether in the industry or whatever, right? So tonight, Lucky Smith joins us again, and we're going to dive deep into the real. Lucky he ain't holding back. Now, he already told me, look, if you don't want real, don't even have me on. So, you know, I definitely appreciate that. And I see y'all comments. Keep them comments coming. If y'all want to get in the studio, I did put that link, but keep them comments coming. I will bring them on. So we're going to talk about everything from the industry, life lessons, love, and everything in between. We're going to get into all of it. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on my guest, Lucky Smith, coming to the stage. Hey, Lucky, how are you?
Hey, what's happening? What's happening?
What's happening?
Man, hey, boy, I'm a little a little under the weather. You know, the jumping time zones got me a little congested, but but I'm here. You know, that's the important thing.
That's all that matters. Look, get you some hot water and some key lime, and nurse that. You feel me? Get that body in alkaline order. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and get into it, Lucky. We're gonna talk about all kind of stuff tonight. Look, hey, listen, they was hitting me up after the last podcast. They was like, man, did he really say, man, he said this? Well, you saw how it was. But that's that's the makings of a good podcast. You hear me? Of a good episode. So I know you're gonna bring it tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Because we're supposed to talk about politics, music, and relationships. That was our three topics.
Yes, those were our three things. So we did hit the politics piece. We're gonna come back to that because we already know it is heightened right now, right? This in the politics world, it is so heightened. So let's go ahead and skip to. Can we talk about music? One of my favorite things.
We can talk about music, because I know many things we was gonna talk about some of like a lot of these industry secrets and things like that. Things that the common people that's not actually in the industry, some things they're finding shocking or hard to believe, or so I'm just going, let me tell my guys, because I'm like, well, it's blinging, but yeah. So let me. I do like it. The camera in my face, but yeah. So let's talk about it.
That little flare. If you have I feel you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this thing. So
which one you want to start with? R. Kelly, Diddy. Where we want to start?
Okay, so let me ask you this, because then I think maybe you can intertwine this together. Okay, so when you said that you've seen the good, bad, and ugly of the music industry, what does that mean as per your experience? So whatever you want to weave in that bowl of soup.
Okay, we're gonna put it like this, and I know everybody that's been around some part of success, dealing with major artists and things like that, and I'm quite sure and this is on any level, whether it was an athlete or anything. When I say celebrity status, if you've been around this type of atmosphere, you know what I'm saying is 100% true. And it's like all these accusations and a lot of that stuff that shit's all fluff, and a lot of this shit is made up to start taking people down. And if they really start standing on it, it's gonna be so many other people going to jail because what athlete, what artist, matter of fact, what baller, what nigga with some money haven't flew a chick across the the skies to come see them in another city to do what they do and took them on shopping sprees and things like that.
Look who ain't been flued out.
Yeah, so if that's prostitution, people been prostituting for a long damn time. You know what I mean? They've been prostituting for a long time. You know, so you know, some things. Since we're talking about the prostitution, of course, we're talking about the Diddy situation. It's like they charge him with the prostitution stuff. It's like, come on, you know. And now they picking on the old school pimps and stuff. It's like this stuff. All this stuff is 20 years past time, and now y'all want to bring this type of stuff up. But it was cool back in the day when they was doing it. You know what I mean? But now they need something to muddy the waters and cloud the skies to pull the wool over our eyes. So now they bringing a lot of this stuff back out, you know? And it's like all that stuff that Diddy did back in the days, that stuff been known. Everybody in the industry knew about that shit.
You know what? Because to be honest with you, if I'm thinking back a while back, I remember when I was living in Georgia, I had went to one of these clubs, right? And there was like, you know, Diddy was there, you know, it's like the whole experience, right? But the truth of the matter is, even then, that many years ago, there was stuff floating around like, hey, yo, you know, you gotta, you know, so that information has always been out there. I'm just saying that to say that I agree with you because I actually did attend, like, you know, it was a little shindig situation, you know, so, and, you know, there were, you know, some things.
And Diddy's freak offs, you know, that's like a kickoff of something, a branch of something that's way bigger than what he done. You know what I mean? There's people that taught him that game. So it's like, but none of them names are being mentioned. So
why do you feel like that's the case? Why ain't people saying people name? Why are certain names surfacing and some ain't?
Because you got to look at it, you know, you talking about money and power, and these people are sitting in positions that, you know, they're not just in the industry. You know, these people are sitting in political situations. They're sitting in, you know, officer situations and, you know, things like that. It's, you know, big money, big corporations. So it's like they're pulling the strings on a lot of things, and a lot of people are scared to miss that little, you know, that little odd and that little end. So, you know, and they take down who they want to take down when they want to take down. So, you know, everybody's gonna be a fall guy. Look at R. Kelly, big time fall guy. You know what I mean? He was, you know, what he did. You know, it was publicized back then. But for, you know, for some reason, because he was making them so much money at the time, you know, it got alterated. But after that, if you look at it and look at all the women that was on those films, a lot of them was of age. And then if you think about the fact that a lot of them was coming to Chicago, you got to know the statutes of limitations and the age of women, of you know, the situations in Chicago. So it's like, come on, you know. And then to think about it, he wasn't the ones flying the people in. He had other people was doing it for him, and none of them stand trial. You cannot have a one-man RICO. It's absurd.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
You know? And at the time, you know, because I've been around R, I got partners that was in R's camp on a regular basis. You know, and that's women from my hometown that they've been at the concerts, at the after parties with R. You know what I mean? So they know how the situation was. It ain't they screen particularly before you can get in that room. Ain't just no anybody coming in that room. So it's like, you know what I mean? So a lot of the, you know, he had maneuvered a little bit differently after that last that first major situation. You know what I mean? So it's like, but the thing was, he had got his publishing back.
Okay.
And he was off the label.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So them labels wasn't making that money off of him no more. So, you know, it all has to different things tied to it.
Okay. That makes sense. So let me ask you this, Lucky. And I see y'all comments. I'm gonna bring them on in a second. So, like, just based on your experience, what you know about the music industry, what you've observed, etc., right? Like, if you could rewrite the rules of the industry, what's the first thing you would change?
Ooh. The first thing I would change if I could rewrite the rules. That's a real hard question because, you know, I mean, the industry is so huge. I would probably say payola.
Okay.
You know, and let the real talent shine.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Because you know, with payola, anybody can pay to get in certain situations, and they don't even have to be talented, don't have to be good, and stuff be whack, and you know what I mean. But they out there because the money was provided.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Okay, do you feel like just everything with the Diddy trial and just things that have come up over time, right? Do you feel like this case exposed or is exposing deeper issues within the industry, as far as the Me Too movement? Is it facing its Me Too movement, or is this just selective accountability? What would you say?
Look, I know I'm about to catch a lot of heat for this.
Woo, you got to catch it because I already see him. I see him in the comments.
The Me Too movement in the industry is a lot of bullshit to it. And you know, and I don't care what a lot of women gonna get mad when I say this, but you know me, I know bus drivers, bus drivers that have got laid because the women want to get on the bus to see the certain artists.
The entourage, the crew, definitely.
Everybody has gotten on, you know, just because, you know, and it's like, ain't nobody. And the crazy part about it, you know, that's why when they get to talking about, you know, people messing with underage girls like that, if there's one person messing with underage girls in that camp, and he's supposed to be the head guy, how many other people in that circle messing with underage girls? Because that one underage girl didn't come by herself. And she definitely hanging with a bunch of adults.
Oh.
So if she managed to get on that bus, how many other ones got on that bus? But like I say, you know, and the crazy part about it, it's gonna happen one way or another sometimes because essentially ain't nobody asking for IDs after hours and stuff. And some of them girls need to be at home, but where their parents at? You know, and then the other crazy part about it, you got a lot of parents that are pushing their young female daughters on certain artists so they can try to get situations and get in the spotlight and fame. And then when it don't work, when it don't work out the way they thought it was going to work out, now they want to cry wolf.
Oh, so you feel like that's what's going on? That has happened? Is that what
man, of course it's you know, it's the industry. You know, like I said, anybody that's been in this industry, like I said, if you've been part of any part of success, you know how you didn't came up on some sex just by being around, and you know that you didn't flew something out just because you tied to that circle.
That makes sense. I mean, you know, my background, I've worked in media and TV and radio. So, you know, I've definitely observed something like that's the crew, like that's the entourage.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So we have a few comments, Lucky. Let's go ahead and bring on a couple of these comments. Let's see. Keela, hey, beautiful. How are you? I see you doing your thing out there. So Keela says, rule number 1, rewrite. Women don't have to use their bodies to get success. Okay. All right. Robert Kelly and Sean Combs were openly freaky. That's it. What you think about that? A little bit?
Well, it's a fact. You know what I mean? Come on.
Okay. All right.
You know, and then and even with the Diddy situation, it's like, they tried to hit him with the RICO, and he was the only person being charged on that RICO. But my thing is, at this point, why Cassie ain't been brought up on charges? Because everybody knows that she was a full participant. She was able to leave and come as she pleased, all of that. It was part of the trial. She broke up with him, left, came back. It's like, even the incident where she had got beat up, the security guard said it. She left and she came back to the hotel. So it wasn't like he was holding her against her will. And I know people gonna be like, well, that's how abused people be. Man, it was the money. It wasn't the abuse. It was the money, and she liked every bit of the shit that she was getting.
Really, you feel that way? Like, you don't feel like it could have been a combination? Like, I've talked to, just in life or whatever, like people that have been in domestic violence, like in abusive relationships, and they actually talk about like the mind F, if you will, that goes into. And I remember I was looking at something and it was actually talking about the whole rewiring of your brain. Like when you experience like some type of abuse, like your brain, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a physical alteration as well. So you still feeling like it was just predominantly the money?
It's about the money. Come on. It's like you leave, and everybody knows once if you leave certain situations that's bad for you, it's like, okay, you got away. So why keep coming back?
Okay, that's fair.
That's the same way with R. Kelly. A lot of them girls left, but they kept on coming back. Everybody kept on talking about, he has them locked up in the house, but a lot of them was leaving and coming back. So where were they locked up at? It's like, some things are made to sound bad to the public because public opinion is the worst kind of conviction you can get.
Okay.
Once public opinion is out there and it's bad against you, whether you prove yourself innocent, ain't nobody about to come back and be like, well, we're sorry. You've yet to see anybody say, oh, I'm sorry that we dogged you in the media in public like that. But at that point, your whole character has been destroyed.
Okay. All right, let's see here. So Keila says, because in court, she said that she did participate in the agreement. Okay. So Derek says, Mafia, Zionism have been entrenched in music, movies, and sports. But I'm sure you're going to finish that thought, Derek. And then Barbara says, in court, she already stated that she was part of that. But unless you've been part of an emotional, abusive situation, how can you say what it is? If it could have been a little of both. And then Carl says, greed. Thanks for joining us, y'all. We really appreciate it. So any further thoughts on that?
I'm with Carl. It's like, it was about the money. Like I said, if you've ever been to a Diddy party and Cassie was there, you would really kind of understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Yeah. What? 20 years in past now. Now she got a new lover and a little baby on the way, so she's trying to change that image. But hey, back then that wasn't the same Cassie. And she wanted that money.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Let's see. All right, Leah's laughing. Okay, so Derek says this country was literally built on dope money. Opium in China, India gave us Harvard, Forbes, Yale, Skull and Bones, the hospital, schools, museum, etc. All of it from slavery, dope, etc.
Okay. Yeah, he right about that. That's and that's the funny thing, because drugs empower the entertainment, and it's like, you have big time drug dealers like Grateful Edmonds, Freeway Ricky Ross, how they used to tell you they brought the drugs through the White House. The plane landed at the White House. You know what I mean? So they know where all the drugs is going. You know what I mean? Them kingpins out of Mexico and stuff, man. They in partnership with them. That's how they know how to find them. It's
Okay.
like, come on.
I would say, come on, stop playing.
That drug money has been pushing America for years. How many black people you know with planes that they can just fly over to Colombia and Mexico and just grab some drugs and come back? But especially like back in the 70s. How many black folks had their own planes doing that? Like, come on.
Good point. I don't have R. Kelly or Diddy money, but what I do know is all you have to have is more than what the person in need has, and you can get access.
Yeah. You get you a nice car, some rims, some bling, and be in a club and popping some bottles. Somebody going home with you that night. It's like, so imagine being on a level. You got the Baskin Robbins.
That makes sense. Thank you, Keela. We appreciate that. Let's see here. We got some more.
Hey, Key.
All right, so let's see. Tonelli says freak-offs happen in various sectors of the world, including the music industry, sports, business, and even church gospel industry, due to people's sexual proclivities.
Because I'm gonna take it even deeper for you. Let's talk about the Epstein files. Do you understand why they haven't been released?
Tell my listeners what you think about that.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think that people could consume the names that's on that list, and it's gonna crush so many people because it's some of their favorite people. You know what I mean? That they probably think could do no wrong, and they're gonna be like, but it'll crush people. And I know they probably like, I know a lot of the names have kind of been surfaced out there, like their favorite president, their favorite television female and all of them, them names. But it's like, there's a lot of reality to a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? Watergate is real. People don't believe that, but Watergate is real. These young kids ain't being trafficked for no reason and coming up missing. Trafficking is big business, and people do not understand why it's such big business. And it's just those who are not playing in the right circles are the ones that's getting taken down. Because the right circles, you ain't gonna see none of them people getting took down unless they piss somebody off.
That makes sense. All right, so let's see here. Keela says, I have no idea about that, but someone at the beauty salon asked me about it. I have no clue what that is. Okay. The attack on the fishing boat is crazy. Like they want to go after kingpins. Okay. So Carl says, look at all the celebrities who left the country during COVID and didn't come back for a few years once Epstein mentioned them files.
Yeah, believe me. Better yet, look how many people disappeared when they first locked Diddy up. Started relocating, stepping down from companies, and I ain't just talking about in the entertainment business. I'm talking about corporations and everything. That's why everybody wondering how he beat those charges, because Diddy ain't innocent. But it's like, and that's so much more that they could have went after him for. But they afraid if he goes to talk.
Okay. Well, all right, let's see here. Let's see. So do y'all want to add anything else? This is pretty deep. This is some deep stuff. So let's see here. How does celebrity power affect justice, especially for Black entertainers? I don't think I asked you that. I was thinking
celebrity power. You know what I mean? It just depends on, what type of celebrity you are and what phase of celebrity you are. You know what I mean? If you're a higher echelon celebrity to where, you rubbing elbows with all the right people and you changing the narrative on different things, or you got people that'll follow you and things like that. Man, hey, you can get whatever you want done. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you just a basic celebrity, hey, you just like everybody else.
Okay. So M. Woodson says, thanks for joining us, M. Woodson. We appreciate you, beautiful. Ellen cut out a few more too. Okay.
Because even like even like the Biggie Tupac situation. Man, everybody it's been talked about in the industry for years about who killed them. It's just never been moved on. You know, a lot of industry insiders they know everything that happened with those situations. But the powers of powers of be ain't wasn't ready to let it ready to for it to be known. But now you see certain things are coming out slowly but surely.
That makes sense. Okay.
You know, and then the craziest part about it, you look at it like this. You got cats that's been in the industry for a long time. And now that the industry has changed the way it's changing, it's starting to phase a lot of people out. So you got old school niggas, this old, my age and older, that's been in the game for 20, 30 plus years. They feel like they're getting squeezed out. So now, the old rule where you take that shit to your grave, they not doing it no more. They trying to get that 15 minutes of fame back. So they coming out trying to tell their stories, telling the little, the little secrets that's supposed to be buried. So it's crazy.
That makes sense. Let's see here. Let's see. All right. So they use stardom to blackmail our performers. What happened to Michael and Prince and Elvis? No accident.
Yeah, definitely no doubt. Shit, D'Angelo and Angie Stone.
What's your thoughts on that?
They take out people to stop certain narratives or to stop certain information from getting out.
Yeah, because I do remember that Angie, I remember seeing her on Instagram and she was kind of talking about some things that was going on, right? And then next thing you know, car accident, she didn't survive.
Yeah, and you think about the names that one of the big names that she mentioned, happens to be one of Diddy's mentors. And all of a sudden she comes up, like I say, there's certain names you can't speak on because certain things may happen to you, and that's the grit of the industry, and that's how people why a lot of people be scared to say anything.
Interesting. So Carl Lewis says the trap is to only give what you can take back: money, stardom, etc.
Oh yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's like, think of it like this. Even like the Bill Cosby situation. It's like they straight railroad that man. If everybody watched that case, he got railroaded because he became too powerful. They gonna let us go so far, and then they're gonna break us back down. Like, hey, they go, hey, don't get bigger than the system. Hey, boy, don't get bigger than the system, boy. We remember we made you.
Interesting. So let's see here. So Keela says they took Bernie Mac, Michael Jackson, and Whitney Houston. Interesting. Okay. All right. So is there anything else you want to add to this, Lucky? Any other input? Listeners, y'all got anything else y'all want to anywhere else y'all want to go with this?
Like I say, it's one of those situations, man. Don't believe the hidden I mean, don't overlook the hidden agendas when people be talking about that's a conspiracy theory. A lot of things are not really conspiracy theories. It's kind of like now how now when you look at everything, everybody's so quick. Oh, that's AI. That's AI. That's AI. They got you. It starts here. They get you believing certain things, and then you don't even know what reality is. But a lot of this stuff is actual. It's not fake. It's not it's the real deal. And and a lot of people that want to get in the industry, it's like these cats, they play by a different rule. You know what I mean? They,
Mhm.
you know, you got real life, and then you have the industry. The industry is like a real life movie, and they the ones writing the scripts. You know, that's like for instance, this is the first time in what they say 40 years that no rap songs are in the top 40. There's a reason for that.
Hmm.
You know, they not putting no money into rap music right now.
Mhm, mhm.
They trying to show us better than they can tell us, because we all keep yelling, we can go back independent. We can go back independent. But it's like we can't go independent because we don't own nothing.
Mhm, mhm.
We don't own no radio stations. We don't own no concert halls. You know, we don't own no streaming platforms. We don't own none of that.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Hmm. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I be paying attention. I look at things, and it's something like when you hear, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, but a lot of these theories then came into fruition and is, you know what I mean? So interesting. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, all right, all right. So if y'all still have anything else y'all want to add to that, I just kind of want to switch gears a little bit if we can. You ready for that?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Are you ready? Okay. Now let me ask you this. There was a statement that I saw that was really interesting. Let's switch to love and relationships. Can we lighten it a little bit?
Oh yeah, you know that. You know that's the big topic of the day is love relationship.
Just to bring balance, because at the end of the day, I know even with the last show, we kind of talked about some strategies and stuff, and you really should, with what's going on today, you really should keep strategies in front of you. You really should keep it in front of you, how to move and stuff like that. Me, I'm just one of those people. My closest circle will tell you, I just try to find balance in whatever I do. You feel me? So let's talk about love. Let's talk about relationships. So what do you think about this statement, Lucky? And listeners, tell me what y'all think about this too. Love isn't rare. Emotional maturity is. What you think about that? Love is not rare. Emotional maturity is. What y'all think about that?
That's facts, because nobody has love anymore. It's like no people don't even get in relationships for love anymore. People don't get married for love anymore. You know, and that's what's wrong with with the dating scene. You know what I mean? And that's why compatibility is based on like emotional maturity. Because if we can't relate, because you ain't on my level, then what do we have?
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Let's see here. Let's see. Now, dating now. I don't know if you outside, right?
But I'm inside.
You inside? Okay. But let me ask you this. So, like, how has your approach to partnership changed over time? Like, if you look at your 20s, 30s, how did that change over time?
Well, for me, you know what I mean, it didn't change drastically. My 20s and 30s, I was out there. You know what I mean?
Outside.
I was doing my thing. Relationships and all that wasn't. What was that? Was that a real word back in the days? You know what I'm saying?
What you say? Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, but now it's like I look at things a little different. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot scarier now, because you can't. It's a lot more you got to deal with. From diseases to to people's basic mental health, because people out here getting killed just because you breaking up with them, or you tell them you don't really like them like that, or it was just sex. It's like, I'm gonna kill you. So I approach things a whole lot different now. I gotta really kind of get to see where your mental's at on some things.
Absolutely, because so many people, well, I won't say so many because I don't have any studies to back that up. There are some people out here that are unhinged. You hear me? Like, I remember I was recently looking at this story, and it was this girl. She had this best guy friend. You know what I'm saying? And I've talked about, male, female, friendships, in previous shows. Well, anyway, they was like BFFs. They did everything together, whoop-de-whoop, And then she went and got a little boyfriend. Okay, cool, right? And then, that relationship really grew. And her friend, her BFF, out of all them years, her homie, it was never anything but friendship. He ended up killing her. Killing her. You feel me? That's why, even with my male friends, it's like, look, you're going to be my friend, right? But if you start getting weird on me, I'm going to stop talking to you. You feel me? Like, you're not going to make it uncomfortable for me because you're my friend. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just think that's really interesting. You really have to look at people's mental, because I feel like this, even with conversations I've had and even growth that I've, taken, it's almost like, man, the mind F's that go into some of these relationships and how it can mess up your nervous system, your mentality is crazy. You really have to do some work. Like, you absolutely have to, on top of everything that's going on in the world, man. But
because I actually got a female friend, and I actually told her, I was like, because she's the type of person that she has that personality that she can talk and be cool with anybody. And and she's fun to be around. And like I told her, I was like, you got to be careful, because you be thinking these guys, they just trying to be cool, but they really trying to be part of your situation. And you ain't looking at them like that. And she said, I told her, one guy said, I didn't even pay no attention that he really was interested in me like that. It's like, yeah. And and this dude, I think he stayed an hour from her. He texted her maybe 120 times, and within a 30-minute time frame, drove that whole hour over to her house, knocking on her door, everything, because he felt like she had a guy over there. Oh. And it's like, and y'all not even really dating. It's like, but you, in your head, you was like, no, if you, so it's one of the situations, man. You gotta really, you gotta feel the temperature of everybody around you. I don't care who it is.
Absolutely, you really do. You really have to read the room. And use that discernment for real, because so many people, there are people out there that definitely be lying to kick it. So let's check out some of these comments. All right. So let's see here. That's what Cadillac Records was about. They've been owning for decades. They hate the black skin we in. Love goes hand in hand with accountability. Listen, that accountability piece, we talked about that on a previous show. That accountability is so important. That is so important for just even the foundation of a relationship. For love, you need to be emotionally mature, and communication and trust are vital. Absolutely. That communication piece is everything, right? And it's just like, it's just amazing. Like, all this information out here, and just even conversations that I've had with people, even, in the podcast, the soup or whatever, communication tends to be a struggle. Like a struggle, like, I don't know, like, why is that?
No, it's because people are not reading the right communication. Love is a dollar sign. It's a dollar sign. Nobody care about love anymore. A lot of guys, we didn't got insensitive, because it's like, when it comes to women nowadays, if you ain't on a certain level, you ain't got this amount of money, you can't pay these type of stuff for them. It's like, they ain't trying to talk to you. They looking for that old trick daddy. And and at the end of the day, tricking is real. You know what I mean? I don't care what status or how much money you get. If she ain't your wife, or somebody that you about to make your wife for forever, you tricking. So tricking is real. You know what I mean? And these women are taking full advantage of it. And so if a nigga's out here tricking, it's a lot of hoeing going on.
That seems to go hand in hand. It really does go hand in hand. Like, yeah. And it just really pollutes the dating scene, because especially if you are a person that wants substance and stuff like that, I ain't never mad at a brother that got it. Never, right? I ain't never mad at it, My thing is, it's just like, for me, it's just got to be more than that. And especially now, yes, finances are really important. But I'm just saying, just with the stuff going on in the world now, if all we got is, money, and nothing to help to sustain and get you through all this ish that's coming to us. Like, I mean, what is that? Like, does money really buy you happiness? Does it really though? Because I know some people, and even circles that I ran in, they have money. You feel me? Like money, probably more money than I'll ever have, but they wasn't even happy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they look good, they got the labels and stuff, but they not even happy.
Because people don't care about it. As long as they got some money, that's all people care about. It's like the happiness and the love. Hey, women that take that ass whooping for years about that money. And because at the end of the day, it's whoever has the money has the power until you with them long enough to where you didn't got up and got your own money. Or unless you find somebody else that got some money. So you can switch circles.
That makes sense. Let's see. So Carl says, but in many cases, we have to pay attention to those who lead with a flirt. Okay, that makes sense. Too many people be playing mind games in relationship and a lot of gaslighting. Oh my goodness, it is so much of that. It is. It is so many mind games out there. Women are not safe, and people don't have common sense nor self-control. Let's see here. I see you with the eyes, Tammy. Thanks so much for joining us, beautiful. We appreciate you. Let's see here. So a lot of women looking for a sugar daddy, and these women tell you up front, but is that so bad if they telling you up front though? Like, that's my thing. Like, tell me, look, let me know where you at.
But they too up front with you. Say hello. How you doing? Shit, my light bill is this much. My car note is this much. It's like, hey, and then either they hit you with the a la carte. You know what I mean? Head is this much. This is that much. It's like, hey, these are the times we live in. And that's why women be wondering why men are coming on sideways, because this is how women are coming at us. It's like, if we say hello to you and the first thing that come out of your mouth is, what can I buy you? How much you gonna spend on me? Shit, from this point on, my first subject is, are we fucking?
I mean, that's real. That's absolutely real. So Keela says, I've been sheltered my whole life, and now I'm in media. I'm exposed to the listen. That is very, very, very true. I'm in this world, but not of it. But I do care about love. I do too. I feel you, Keela. Like, I want love. You feel me? Love. Like, all that other stuff, and it ain't love. And I want that patient love. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Let's see here. These younger ladies want to leave their parents' house and move right into an equivalent situation. Many don't want to get with someone their own age and build. Women don't want relationships. You feel that powered up? You feel women don't want relationships? Or the first question is, when we get married? Listen. Oh, I love you. Oh.
You ain't lying.
That's sweet. That's what's up. Let's see here. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, do you think it's hope, Lucky? Do you think it's hope out there?
Hope for what?
For love.
I don't know. Because me and my cousin, we be having this conversation all the time. Because I be telling myself, man, I'm trying to find love now. And he's like, man, it's like, whatever. He said, you might as well forget that. He said, it's about partnerships and arrangements. So you just got to find the right partnership with the right arrangement.
Man, I see. All right, so are there any more comments? Let's see here. People lack character, depth, purpose, and self-esteem. Intentionality is the catalyst to genuine connections, whether it's hookups or real love. I think we as men and women have lost the ability to trust. I can see that.
No, yeah, most definitely.
I think trust and forgive. I think forgiveness is up there too.
Yeah, both of those are. You know what I mean? But but the other thing. Oh man, I just had the perfect word. Oh my goodness, and I lost my train of thought with it.
It'll come back to you. I seen something if you tap right here.
Yeah.
It's supposed to help with your memory. So Shell, thanks for joining me, Shell. I appreciate you, beautiful. It's crazy how there are a lot of people. Forgiveness is an art. Absolutely, it is. It's
respect. That's what I was gonna say. Respect. There is no respect in dating anymore.
You know what? I can see that. I just based on conversations and stuff like that. That respect piece is huge. That really is huge. Carl says, but people want you to forgive for crimes that you didn't commit. You know what? I can see that. I can see that. Like, people want you to forgive for crimes that you didn't commit. What comes to mind with me when I read that is like, maybe they want you to forgive for, you know, crimes that people in their past did. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like even that aspect too comes up a lot in some relationships and dating and stuff like that. Like, it's, you know.
Oh yeah, because you know that's because people don't get the healing that they need, and they walk around with this big ass bag of luggage from past relationships and shit like that. And it's like, so they can't never move on, you know, and they steady hunted by past relationships. It's like you can't take that into every new situation that you deal with, because everybody ain't the same, you know.
Absolutely, they're not the same, and that's so important, and that's why for me, like, I'm really big when it comes to the past. I think the past is cool to visit, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, I just think that sometimes people use it as a guidepost, even in their current relationships, which doesn't even give their current relationships a chance. So Derek says the focus of the future doesn't start with family now. It starts with what people want, especially don't want. That's fair. That's fair.
I start with what can you do for me?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So Carl says people will start off a relationship telling you what they deserve based off of a relationship that didn't even include, you hear me? Okay, like, man, I have nothing to do with that. Didn't have not near one thing to do with that. Absolutely. Yeah. And what were we gonna say, Lucky? I got a delay.
No, I said that part. I'm with him.
Absolutely. That's a fool. That's
you know, and the other part that really get me, it's like a lot of women be having these certain standards. You know, what they want in a man, what they want the man to do, how much he needs to make, and all that. They're like, shit, you ain't even nowhere close to that shit your damn self. Your ass struggling. But you got all these requirements. You should be happy with a motherfucker that's willing to just come by and help you out by any means necessary. Shit.
Hey, I see it. People need to heal and navigate with pure intention. Pray for spiritual discernment so you can attract not only what you want, but what you would need. Absolutely. Cue the song, What Have You Done For Me Lately?
And not just what you've done for me lately. What are you about to do for me today? You know what I mean? And it's like, and you know, and I ain't even gonna pick on the women because you know, because a lot of these guys out here, because I got a lot of female friends. So yes, fellas, I'm hearing some of the horror stories on both sides of the table. And it's like, you know, some of these guys are some straight cornball ass niggas. You know, they don't have no mamas or no aunties or nothing in their life, and they some just straight cornball ass niggas. You know what I mean? So and that's why I say the respect is gone. It's because, you know what I mean, you know, they have no respect no more, because, you know, like for instance, me and my one friend, she said, oh, you know, and she's in her 40s. So, you know, and she doesn't like younger men, so she's dating 45 plus. And she's like, all thing these guys want to do is text. You want to have a text relationship. Like, how does that work? Explain to me, as a grown ass man, how the hell you gonna communicate by texting?
You know, and see, you know, I'm a professor by day, and one of the classes that I teach is like business communications and all that, right? And so much gets lost in non-verbal communication. There's certain impacts that happens when you're verbally able to talk to a person, right? But when you texting, you know, depending on who it is, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? If I like you, if you my guy and I like you, I want to talk to you. Now, sometimes texting works. It does, right? It definitely works, right? But so much gets lost in translation with texting. But, you know, that is a common way that people run their relationships now. I mean, it is convenient. It can be very convenient. But like, do you feel that texting actually leads to what's the word I'm looking for? Not attachment. Like, do you think that it adds to that connection? Do you feel that?
If all I'm doing is texting you, all I'm trying to do is hit. Because that means I ain't trying to form no type of bond, no type of real connection, no emotional feeling. I don't want none of that. I just want to hit and move on.
Wow. Okay.
If because with texting, that's how you gonna get. You ain't getting no emotional support because you ain't you ain't getting nothing out of that. There's no verbal, there's nothing. There's no physical. What are you getting from either party?
That makes sense. Let's see here.
I'm just trying to see when you got some free time so I can come through. That's what texting mean to me.
Let's see here. I never thought love relationships would be this complicated. It's like that new math is a fool, and really relationships can really be simple. I'm not saying that they don't require some type of work. And I think what happens sometimes is that people aren't really trying to do, they're not matched with trying to do the work. And I'm not saying it's a tit for tat thing. If I do this, you got to do this. I just think that there's just a happy medium. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. It's just a happy medium. Let's see. Okay, y'all, because we getting low on time, and y'all already know it's Taco Tuesday. Man, I've been thinking about tacos all day. You hear me? Anyway. So, here we go. This has been a great conversation. Thank you, Lucky, for being truthful. Some men will be taken up for these no moral having men. Just say I'm with the bro. Thank you so much for listening, Keela. And, kudos to you for what you do. I be seeing you, mama, and you doing wonderful things. Keep going. And you are an inspiration. You're beautiful. You're talented. To keep being a light.
Yeah. I love her. That's
oh my God.
So yeah, we see you, you're doing your thing.
I met her many years ago. It was during a Black Expo. It was during a career fair, or it was something like that. And she just, we just were talking. I think I was working in radio at the time. I think that's what it was, Keela. Forgive me, because I didn't slept many times since then. But you have always been dynamic, sis. Keep going. Yes, absolutely amazing conversation. I totally agree. Let's look at this real quick, and then I got one more question for you, Lucky. Then we're gonna get out of here because I am tasting some Berea in my mind right now. Okay, so this is evident in our music. Back in the day, there has always been a break in the song where a man with spit game or talk to a woman, that's now a lost art. I remember that. I'm gonna tell you. Can I tell you? Remember that song, Charlie Wilson, last name Wilson? I was wondering if I could take you out. Listen, now my mama listening, she was like, I imagine, Lisa, because at the time I was living in Atlanta or whatever, she said, I imagine that's how your story gonna be, right? And it was just, I don't know. We had a show before where we talking about the impact of music on relationships and our views and all that stuff. But anyway, I just thought that was so sweet. You know what I'm saying? But, it's just like he really took time and was really trying to holler at this sister. But now it's with some of these bruhs, and I know it's energy and it's a case by case. And I'm not saying for everybody. I will never, ever say for everybody. I'm just saying it's cool to kind of, take that time and, be like, hey, how you doing? All sisters don't feel like that's a waste of time. So, Lucky, let me ask you this. I know it's dinner time, y'all. It's dinner time. Last comment. It's not complicated. People make it complicated with their BS entitlements and insecurity. Shout out to the normal people. Listen, it do be a lot of different insecurities and stuff. I mean, and, I just remember a conversation I had with an elder, and he was talking about, most people have some type of insecurity. It's just how it shows up.
Yeah, most definitely.
No man can talk to me like Mr. Biggs, aka Ronald Isley. But yes, Unc Charlie, chef's kiss. All right, so this is what I want to ask you, Lucky. So years from now, what do you want people to remember about your message, about you, or your message, or whatever?
It's funny that you asked that question, because I always pose that question to a lot of people. It's like, what when you're gone, what do you feel your legacy should be? And you know what I mean? And with me, it's like how can I put it? Like, for instance, you know what I mean, my radio station and my magazine was just nominated for a Southern Entertainment Award.
Oh, congratulations.
It's the first time that any of my companies have ever been nominated for anything, even myself. I've been in the industry over 30 years and never been nominated for anything. But I've been in part of so much, been involved with so many people, but this is the first time. So it's like, and to have two companies at the same time in the same year, it's like, you know what I mean? So when I think about my legacy, I want to be known as the guy that was always there, that people could depend on, they could call on, and you know what I mean. And he always made things happen, and he was a man of his word, and he stood on it. I'm still honorable to this day. A great father. You know what I mean? Maybe an okay boyfriend. He was a cool husband. But he was one hell of a friend.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, Lucky. Thank you so much for joining me. I got to close this thing out. You hear me? I got to close this thing out. So definitely congratulations to you. The best is still yet to come. I'm looking forward to see what life be blowing you here in a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot coming, you know what I mean? But I appreciate you having me on the platform again. Glad we was able to talk about some of these topics, and you keep doing what you're doing, and we're gonna keep watching you.
Thank you, Lucky. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, boom. So look, you heard it here. Look, Lucky came with it today, y'all. Did he not come with it, y'all? So, I definitely appreciate all of your feedback, your comments, and all of that. I appreciate y'all every show. So, thank you so much for showing up. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because y'all already know. And I know I'll be talking about my stomach, and I shouldn't, but I just be transparent. All right. So anyway, y'all know I got to do my spiel before getting out of here. If this conversation moved you, definitely share it. Make sure that you're subscribing, liking across all platforms, y'all. Y'all already know what I'm going to say. Y'all already know what I'm going to say. Relationship Soup, period. Okay. You got to put the period in there, or you're going to be somewhere else. If you want to follow me, it's Relationship Soup LLC. Relationshipsoup.com is the greeting card site. On Instagram, it's Relationship Soup. And I cannot wait to share, because there's some stuff in the works, y'all. And I cannot wait to share it with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So let's see here. Is there anything else? Oh, the affirmation. Y'all know I like to end with an affirmation. This affirmation is this. I am in perfect harmony with the rhythm of my life. Love flows to me and through me with ease. Every experience, joy, challenge, and change plays its part in my divine melody. I'm exactly where I am meant to be, and my song is still unfolding beautifully. So I hope that resonates with y'all. And, I definitely appreciate y'all. Let's see, is there any other comments? He did it. Yes, he did. Absolutely get some good game. Absolutely. Love y'all all so much. Shout out. Let me give my shout outs right quick before I get out of here. Oh, it's a trip. All right. So let me go ahead and give my shout outs before I get out of here. I got to coordinate, make this right, because that last time it was a fool, that episode. But anyway, shout out to my mama. Thank you so much for listening. I love you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Lyric, the Grishams, Aunt Anna, Music Man, Mark Lee, everybody. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and for the support that you give Relationship Soup. All right. And so look, we will be live again soon. So look for that invites. And if you have stuff you want to talk about, DM me, holler at me. Absolutely. So we can, mix it up a little bit. I'm always open. This is a soup, so we can talk about whatever. You hear me? All right, then, y'all. So let me go ahead and get out of here so I can feed my soul and my stomach. Until we meet next time. Peace.